have your rapt attention. I feel it my duty to sadly mention a tale of thoughtless youthful folly concerning a girl whose name was Molly. Yes, Molly the child was sadly christened, and as the congregation listened to the curate's pious benediction, the poor dear girl was struck with an affliction which would haunt her life like a mistimed joke. Yes, it all began with holy smoke. For as the thurible, the thurifer swung, a heavy cloud of incense hung, and snaked its wily winding way to where the chubby infant lay. Now those of you with weakened hearts, please shield your ears before I start to exhume the corpse of a tale so dark that it's never gone beyond Finsbury Park. And many of the locals there still walk around with upright hair. But back to the service, and back to the church. Dear Molly, with a frenzied lurch, sat up and sucked the scented plume, and then rolled her eyes around the room. She gave a frightful scream that shook the air, a scream that made the curate glare, a mad, shrill cry that made the stained glass windows smash. And yes, my friends, you may have guessed the child was sadly mashed, or stoned, or high, or out of her tree. But as much as she gurgled, no one could see that the bairn approached a state of zen, except for wicked Uncle Len, whose curly hair hung down below his yellow denim flares. For Uncle Len had lived a life of festivals and fairs. He often attended pagan rites and danced with druids in the night. For Uncle Len could sense the vibe, for he was once one of Spiral Tribe. A bunch of vagabonds and rogues who tore around the country roads, making camp in woodland glade and holding parties they called raves, where youngsters sing and dance all night as if they'd swallowed dynamite. But let us take a leap in time. Young Molly grew up strong and fine. To Switzerland she went to school. Oh, how she made those Swiss boys drool. Well schooled and bred, her social set comprised of diplomats and debs. Society journals said that she was romantically linked with royalty. So one night at a glittering gala ball, dear Molly at first was quite appalled when best friend Bunny Farquharson said, "To the powder room you must come, for Crown Prince Albebi of South Brunei is holding court with a razor blade. Oh, do come, Molly, do let's try. I wish so much to get so high." So, chop, chop, chop went the prince's blade as the fine white lines across the table were laid. "Darling baby," snorted Bunny, "this is Molly, she's my chum." "Molly, you're so beautiful, I'm very nearly overcome," said our baby, directing the girl to indulge, his eyes displaying a right royal bulge, half from narcotics and half from his lust, as he settled his eyes on the heaving bust of the girl he decided to take for his mate. So with pupils beginning to gently dilate, dear Molly was swept from her silk-finished heels as she fingered the keys to his glittering wheels. Now, 1 hour later, wide and bright, dear Molly's eyes did show her plight, driving in the prince's car, an XJ 220 Jaguar. But oh dear friends, when on cocaine, the world does not quite seem the same, and Prince Albebi paid the cost for thinking he was Alan Prost. For crash, bang, tinkle, wallop, splat, the Jaguar was squashed quite flat. The supercar was concertinaed. And so, my friends, I think that we had better cut out from the wreckage morality or some high message involving opinion or topical points, or maybe just light up another great joint or join up with Bunny quite out of her head. And why not? For tomorrow we may all be dead.